Switching it on me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, my bad. It flip flops every other one. Yeah, I forgot that it flip flopped.
It's all right. You keep going, man.
One. You ever listen to Mateus Asado?
Yeah, I know who he is, dude.
Yeah.
Is that one of his?
No, that's one of mine, but like it's like heavily influenced by him.
Dude, that's great. Now, when you play that, do you loop with it?
In a sense, I loop with the verse part to really catch like the vocal line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of live looping though.
Show me with that one.
With that one?
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Let's see.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Sorry, it's a hot one.
Yeah.
Keep going. That sounds great, dude.
Then back to the verse.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, see, typically people come in here and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna play with you. I'm just kind of like, I kind of want to let you just go.
Well, I appreciate
No, it's
that.
beautiful, dude.
Appreciate that.
So, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. Happy 4th of July. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, I thought we'd take off on a holiday, but no.
Never.
I got Eric Pindell in here today.
Yeah, man.
So,
Howdy, y'all.
yeah, so we just met for the first time, but you're friends with a bunch of other guitar players that recommended you very highly. And I see why. And also my friend Kristen Young.
Yes, that is
How
true.
do you know Kristen?
I went to high school with her and never knew she could sing. And man, you guys been killing it.
Dude,
That's for sure.
I know. I'm gonna miss what's next. I'm gonna miss playing with her. But it was so fun because when she first joined that band, she hadn't been in a band before, and she just knew Matt, the drummer, and he was just like, hey, she can sing, she's really good, but she's never been in a band before, and we're all like, what? And she came in and she crushed it, and she's just been like going like this ever since.
Don't you love it? It's like you just give one person one chance, and the next thing you know.
That is the whole thing, man. If you just give people a chance and they work at it, you just see them just blossom.
Yeah.
And skyrocket.
And it's unbelievable, because everybody's bound by their fear or anxiousness or whatever the case may be, And
yeah.
I bet the first time you walked out on stage, you were scared to death.
Yeah, always.
But yeah, same.
Always.
I mean, there's at least one point when I'm like, even if there's one person out there or nobody, I'm still like, oh man, I hope I don't mess up. But at the same time, it's like, that's the nature of the beast. We're going to mess up.
Keep
whether the guitar's in our hand or a pencil's in the other hand,
That's it, dude.
So.
That is absolutely it. So, what are you doing? Like where what are your gigs? Like literally, we just met, we just plugged in and turned the camera on.
Yeah.
So why don't you give me the rundown?
Well, basically, I play in two bands. I play in Rosabella, which is based out of Baltimore, and then I play with Zach Bellas in the company band. We originally were from the D.C. area. Zach has relocated to the Federal Hill area, so we're now another Baltimore band.
I lived in Federal Hill for 7 years.
Oh, fun times, right?
Dude.
Do you remember any of it?
I think. So one time, I think the worst night I ever had there, I came home, it was like an 8:30 kickoff of like a Ravens-Patriots game.
Oh, great.
And I used to walk to the stadium. And we just got so obliterated drunk. I think I blacked out on my buddy's couch
Perfect.
And like came home at like 6 o'clock in the morning with like my pants in my hand.
Oh yeah, you're like, what happened?
My wife and I didn't talk for like 3 weeks. It was belligerent. But
of course.
But it was a special time in my life living down there.
We always hold those moments so dear to our heart.
If she's watching, she's like, that is not dear to my heart.
I got hammered one time at the Maryland football game, and I don't know how it happened, but I ended up falling asleep on Route 1.
Really?
Yep, and then next thing you know, my parents are picking me up on the corner. I have no shoes on. I look like a homeless guy. I look like a homeless guy with like $1,000 haircut. It was ridiculous.
That's great.
It was unbelievable.
So you play in 2 Baltimore bands.
Yeah.
And what are those bands like? Like what and what is your how many pieces? What type of music?
Rosabella is a 5-piece. We get compared to very Alter Bridge, Seven Dust, 3 Days Grace, Shine Down style hard rock. Zach Bellas is man, we do a lot of stuff. It's kind of like a folk reggae rock thing. It's very singer-songwriter, but then like we also have like those fun jams when you can just take 12 minutes to yourself.
Yeah. Now these both original projects?
Yes. Yeah, we do throw some covers in from time to time. Zach Bellas is the newest one that I've been in. I joined them in 2014, and then we did one nationwide tour with Pasadena. Whoop whoop.
Nice.
Joey Harcum, and then after that, I I've been hitting with them pretty hard. We did one record with Frank Marchand down at Air Show. No, Air Show was Rosabella. Sorry, Rosabella's worked with Frank as well. Yeah. We did one with Frank, Zach Bellas, that is. And then after that, we did one with Bias Studios down in Springfield.
I have not been there.
It's a nice little spot.
Yeah. Keep going. I'm just kind of adjusting.
And then what else? I do some studio work. I've done stuff out of what studio is that? Morpheus Studios.
I've heard of it. I haven't been there though.
They do a lot of hip hop stuff. It's it's fun because I'm from Memphis, so.
Okay, so you're from Memphis. So when did you get here?
98. So I mean I was young, but man, just walking on Beale Street as a kid is for a musician, that's life changing.
Yeah.
When you can see a homeless man play guitar better than anybody, you're just like.
Dude, I haven't spent much time there, but I really felt that way in New Orleans in particular.
Yeah, same thing.
Like you're just walking around, you go around some random corner and there's some person who's literally homeless, and you're like.
Well, yeah, right?
How? Why?
Mm-hmm. And that moment like blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I was raised on so many different genres of music. I came out of the womb listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan, Miles Davis, Tupac, Metallica, Pantera. Like there was nothing that wasn't under my belt by the time I was 5.
5?
I mean, my parents just have like a plethora of music.
Now, did they play or are they just music heads?
I'm the only musical person in my family.
Same with me.
Yeah.
But they listen to that diverse.
Oh yeah.
And regularly.
Yes.
And would kind of tell you what you're listening to.
I mean, they have videos of me. I'm like 3 years old. I got a vest on. I got the the cowboy hat with a feather hanging out, fake Stratocaster, singing Pride and Joy. Just doing one thing. But now it's like I can actually.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see like that transformation happen.
Sure.
My mom would have named me Phil after Phil Collins. Thank God she didn't. My dad wanted to name me Eric after Eric Clapton, so hey, Dad wins.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so when did you actually start playing?
I tried to start in Memphis. It didn't work. My teacher was horrible. The guitar was too big. He's like, here's A.
Yeah.
Here's G. D. Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, dude, I'm 10. Teach me Metallica.
Yeah.
And I just fell off of it. Moved back to Maryland. Thank God my middle school had. A guitar class, like a specific guitar class.
Right.
And me being 12 years old, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be great at this. Of course I sucked, but that sparked my interest again.
Yeah.
And then I was self-taught, fell in love with Creed. Don't hate me.
That's funny, dude.
And Mark Tremonti spoke to me.
Yeah.
And that really kind of opened the door to me.
Yeah.
I started to see music three-dimensionally.
What do you mean?
In the sense of like, it's almost like very philosophical. Like when I'm writing music now, like I vividly see colors. Like everything changes around me. It's almost like I'm on acid. But I'm sober.
Do you spend a lot of time writing?
A lot of time. Yeah, that's my therapy.
Yeah.
I just lock myself in my room or the studio, and I'm gone,
Now, do you have a studio in your house?
Well, Rosabella, we have a studio down at Orion Studios.
Gotcha.
It's a rehearsal spot, but we also have quite the Pro Tools rig. So.
Yeah. Is just forgive me, I can't remember. Is Orion the place I'm thinking of? That's like way down in the.
It's got the barbed wire fence.
Correct.
No.
What is that place?
Do
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, in potholes everywhere.
Yeah, like right past the train tracks.
Yes, and it just looks like it should be a crack house.
Correct.
Yes, no, that was Bandland or Studio 14. If anybody else knows this, let us know.
I think it was Studio 14. So where's Orion?
Orion is right off Route 1. You played Fishhead before?
Yes.
Okay, it's right down the street.
Gotcha.
You remember where the old Pollock Johnny's used to be?
No.
Okay, but it's right off.
But I know where Fishhead is.
Yeah, so it's like 5, maybe 10 minutes from there.
Gotcha.
And it's nice, 24-hour access.
So you guys have your own studio.
Yeah.
And you got a Pro Tools rig. And so you go down there and just write all the time.
All the time. I mean, I got.
Are you the primary songwriter for the band?
No, I mean.
Or do you guys write as a band?
Yeah, right now we've been really focusing on writing as a band. I've really tried to push that, and so have the other guys. It's not just me, but like there's something that happens when you have. You're either gonna be in all-out war when you have 5 egos going together, or you're actually gonna like put your pride and ego away,
Uh-huh.
and you're gonna be like, you know what? Let's actually try that, or let me hear your idea. You
Yeah.
know, and that's a humbling and yet humiliating process. But at
Sure.
the same time, you know, I feel like that's more of the, I guess, fair way to approach it. And not to mention, you never know what you can learn from that process.
For sure.
And that's a beautiful thing.
I really want to do more original writing stuff, because that whole thing you're talking about is fairly foreign to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've always kind of been in the learn this song for this gig, you know, try to get that gig scene, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
And you're like totally on the other side, and it's got to be fun, but it's also got to be like really freaking hard.
Yeah, it is. You know,
because even if you're a great writer, 9 out of 10 is dog shit.
Oh, that's so true. You know, and
so if there's 5 of you throwing it out there,
yes,
you know,
yes, and I think what happens in those moments is, I can only speak for myself, but like when I'm trying to really find what should fit, or the actual idea itself, you know, I'm trying to hone in on an emotion instead of just trying to force a fart out, because next thing you know, you're gonna shit your pants. You know, that's like the only way I can be honest about that.
Yes.
It's because, like, I've always written songs about something. When I haven't done that, I feel happy about it, but it's not like it's getting me here.
Yeah.
I always want the feels. I think that's why Stevie is my all-time favorite guitar player.
I would actually probably agree with you. Electric, at least.
Yeah, for sure, hands down.
Yeah.
And, you know, Mayer's a close second. You know, Mayer does that to me. Like, when I can go to a concert, and any musician, doesn't have to be a guitar player, vocalist, anything, if I'm crying, you did your job.
Dude, so when Mayer came through, I guess it was a year ago, maybe less, I don't know.
Which show?
The one in D.C.
I was there.
You were there?
Yep.
So my wife Annie and I went, and it's very, well, one, we almost never go to shows, because for the past 5 years I've been in a full-time gigging band,
right.
So you just stop going to shows.
Yeah.
But two, when we do, it's very hard to find one that she and I are both like excited about.
Let's go.
You know? And so we went, I think it was her birthday, and we got floor seats. And
oh wow.
And like, dude, that power trio set, it was outstanding.
Oh,
you know?
Yes.
Like, I was very, very, very impressed and humbled.
How cool
really
was that
was.
when he started doing the...
Keep going. And he also did the. No, was that the one too where he also did the he did a Banded Gypsy song in there.
Oh, we had da 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 da. Oh, he does it on Where the Light Is. It wasn't Who Knows. I wish it was. I love that one.
I know, that's such a good song.
Oh yeah. Woo. But yeah, sorry. Tangent.
And for guitar players, it's all
Yes.
tangent. This is literally just Tourette's in like instrument form.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about. Let's jump into your gear.
Yeah, I would love that.
So you're a PRS guy.
100%.
When, why, and why this one?
Number one, Tremonti.
Yeah.
That started it all. I was a fanboy from the get-go.
That was the hook.
That was the hook for sure. And everyone's like, yeah, man, he plays a Gibson. He plays a Gibson. I'm like, that doesn't look like a Gibson, man. And anybody, I remember I'd walk in the music stores. I'm like, yeah, do you guys sell this guitar? And I would just walk around with, like, I'd pull it out of my pocket. It was this picture, and it was all crumpled up. I'm like, do you sell this? Kind of looking for a missing child.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, no, we don't sell that. That's about $3,000. And I remember I walked in.
And was that around here?
Yes, that was
in Maryland.
When I was walking around like that, for sure. Yeah. When I first started going to Coffee Music, shout out, whoop whoop.
Yeah, they're good.
They actually had one. And at the time, I was saving up to buy it. It was sitting on the wall. It was the black one, the original one that had the Tremonti logo right here. And I was in 8th grade. I was cutting grass for 3 years to save up for it.
Whatever it took.
Yeah.
I love that.
One day, my dad came home with a guitar case in his hand, and I'm like, what's that? He went over the Bay Bridge and played in a golf tournament. It was for a couple police officers in the Queens Anne County Sheriff's Department that had passed away. Paul Reed Smith had donated a guitar for auction. My dad placed a bid on it.
Got it.
And I got a Santana 3 from 2002. Yeah, 10 top, dark purple. And at first I was like, you know, being an ungrateful child, purple? And then now as I'm like almost 30, I'm like this is a $4,000 guitar, you idiot, be grateful.
You're like, I want purple.
And after that, I just fell in love with that guitar.
Yeah.
You know? And then I saved up. I ended up ordering that guy. That thing was my #1. And this was just an impulse purchase. I love this one. You know, I actually took the 5-way out.
You did?
Took the 5-way out, put a push-pull in it. Because the parallel or out of phase on the 5-way, it was nice, but there's something about just a true single coil, especially because these pickups, the 5909s, I love this pickup. It's bright, it's articulate, it's not too in your face.
Can I hear the difference back and forth?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm gonna zoom in a little bit just so people can see it a little better.
Take the reverb off. All right, that was humbuckers on the bridge, and now this is split. Ooh. Middle position split. Middle position humbucking.
Yeah.
And then neck humbucking. And that's the thing that shocks me about these newer style pickups that they're doing is like you can get so much treble out of a bass pickup, so much bass out of a treble pickup.
It's true.
That's what I'm all about.
It is pretty even, man.
That's my big thing, and that's the thing that shocks me the most. Like they pride themselves on the 408 and everything else, like not having volume loss. I feel like this one is better, and they don't even offer this.
Interesting.
You know, like.
Louder than you.
But that one stays fairly equal.
It does. It does.
And the bass stays there too.
It's just a big pickup.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a big old pickup.
Yeah, it's like a massive sandwich. You're just like, I gotta cut this thing. I can't eat this in one bite.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and I think that's just because my dream guitar is a Stratocaster. Always has been.
All right. So talk about that.
That's just the Stevie in me, you know, and
the single coil sound, or just the feel, or like
the feel is definitely not me. The feel is very different to me. Like when I hold a Strat, but that sound, like whenever.
So you like that feel?
Yes.
But that single coil.
There's something about like looking through a piece of glass. Like that's what I think of a single coil as.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like a frosted, like, you know, metallic flavor or whatever. And
I get it.
You know, the single coil sound was just it, you know?
Yeah.
And it took me a while to understand that was what I liked, you know, because quickly after I fell in love with Stevie, I became a pissed off teenager. Yeah. And I loved heavy metal. Yeah. And nothing really paid attention. I was just like, let's see how angry I can get.
Give me the EMG 81.
Exactly, you know? Like Kirk Hammett, you know, Pantera.
Yeah. I was a huge Pantera fan.
Oh yeah, Dimebag.
A main influence of mine. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the anytime I pick up a Strat, I was like, yeah, this is an awesome sound, but this guitar sucks. You know, every now and then I'd pick one up and I'm like, this is awesome.
Dude, so when I want to talk about it because you just tried that Mayer guitar out. And that's how I've always felt too, man. I felt like 9 out of the 10 Strats I picked up, I was just like, man, the sound's there, but I just don't. It kind of sucks.
I know. It's like I want.
You know, but every now and again, you'd get one, and you'd be like, God damn, I shouldn't buy another guitar. This is a magical kind of guitar, but they are really hard to find.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough. I was doing a gig up in Brooklyn, New York, and I found this music store, and whenever I travel, I have to find the local music shop.
Yeah.
That's like my thing.
Yeah.
And I was looking on their website, and they had this pedal that I wanted. This one, this Earthquakers device.
Yeah.
And when I went in there, small little shop. But as I walk in, I'm looking around, and I'm seeing like these really old vintage, you know, Martins, a couple Taylors, this really high-end, old school acoustics. And then they had this tiny little room that says electric guitars. Tiny, probably smaller than this room that we're in right now. And I look on the wall, and I felt like I was Wayne and Garth looking at that white Stratocaster.
Yeah.
But there it was. It was a 56 Strat, just sitting on the wall, not in a glass case.
Yeah.
No
hanging
nothing.
For you to grab.
Literally. And I'm just like, ah. Owner walks up behind me. He's like, man, girls like to be played with, dude. Pick that thing up and play it. And I'm like, what? And he just snatches it off the wall. He's like, what do you want to play through? 63 Princeton? Yeah, sure. Okay. Plugged it in. And I'm like, this is what heaven is like.
Yeah.
I got to play a 56, a 64, a 66, and a 67, all back to back to back to back.
Dude.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was just blown away. And the 56 was amazing, of course, but the 64 is the one that felt right.
Yeah.
That I was like.
The neck just felt right.
Everything, and I didn't realize that on the older ones, did you know that they were 3-ways?
Did not.
Yeah, so they were 3-ways just like this. And that sound, the Mayer sound or whatever that we really like, they actually would have to like finagle it and stop it.
No.
Yes.
Because they didn't make the 5-ways back then.
Exactly. So that's how I had no
Put a
idea.
little tape on it.
Right? Yeah. It's like, nope, stop right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is amazing. And I looked at the price tag and I said, take this from me. It's $20,000. Right. I'm like, I'll never be able to do that. Yeah. You know, I'm literally have to sell a kidney. Right. And I think that's why I was so gung ho when I saw the Mayer coming out for, you know, $20,000 less. Right. You know. Right. So, you know, I can't wait for that one to come in. It's gonna be nice.
Dude, it was a good guitar, man. They certainly nailed that sound. And,
yes.
And if you like that vintage feel, it had the feel.
Yeah. I
mean, it did, you know, with the fret radius, if you go crazy bends, it did fret out way up here.
Yeah, and I was noticing that too.
But that's really the only thing I could really say, like when you're comparing it to something 10 times the price.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, and I think this is the thing that shocked me the most about Fender, how they wouldn't want to do that with him. You know, because the whole story was like he just wanted to build something off his favorite guitars. You know, the 64s, the 63s, and I was shocked that Fender didn't want to jump on that. But, hey.
I mean.
It is what it is.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's a big company, and they probably say, well, if we do this for this person, we're going to have to do it for this person, and that person, and that person, and we need our machines to crank out the Strat packs.
Right? That is for sure.
Well, let's play another one, and then we'll talk about your amp and your pedal.
Yeah.
Do another groove like you were doing there a second ago. Like I don't know, what's that other? Just G minor, F. Take another. That's a great sound. Yeah, yeah. Go for it. No. Why not be silly?
Right? We have to. Man, that amp screams.
Dude, you sound great.
Thank you very much.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Yeah. You sound awesome. I really, obviously your phrasing is great, but I love how, like, you kind of want to keep going quieter.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that was like the whole thing I enjoyed about Stevie. Just watching him just get this down to damn near zero. And
Yes.
And it's like how do people whisper?
Yeah.
Like this.
That's why I had to ruin it with a big high gain swell with feedback at the end.
You have to.
Because what am I going to do? Try to do that?
I mean, you can. Yeah.
No, but no,
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
I give you a real compliment. I
Yeah,
mean, like,
no,
it's
and it's
really, really,
really do appreciate
strong
that.
playing, man.
Yeah, you know, like I said, that's just, I understood the power of silence.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, you got it, man. Dude, I'm impressed. You sound really... All right, let's talk about... I don't even know if I can get into that yet. I got to show everybody because that's just obscene. This.
Yep.
Why do you play this?
Well, originally I was a big boogie fan, and to me this is just a cleaner version of a boogie. I owned a...
Now, which model is this for the
this is the Archon 50 watt. I run it on 25, just that way I can push the clean channel a little bit more than I can the dirty channel. I don't want too much saturation because I'm going to be stacking overdrives on top of it, other effects. Long story short.
So you just run it clean right up to that point?
Yes, right at that threshold. And then I do things a little backward. I put a boost directly in front of the amp.
Wait, say that again?
Coming out of the amp, it goes straight into a boost pedal. Straight out of here, it goes into a boost pedal. So that is like, if it
boost is the first in your chain. Really?
Yep.
And why do you do that?
I do that when I'm switching guitars, because I own a Mayer. I own a Silver Sky. It's quieter than any other guitar.
Yeah.
So that's like, if I need something else, that's...
Put it up front.
Yeah, exactly. And then I have a boost at the very end of my chain, which is my compressor. I do things very different, but I'm very...
You're getting some really, really good sounds out of it.
But basically, I enjoyed this so much because of it's lightweight compared to the Archon, or the...
yeah, if you just look up there, just you can move around so people can see it, yeah.
And basically, I had the Roadster, which is like the little brother to the Road King, which is 4 channels, you know, the works.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was amazing. It did everything that I wanted. It had like that Stevie tone. It had crystal cleans, and then it had your just pissed off, cutthroat, heavy metal sounds.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, the thing weighed so much.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, Coffee Music hooked me up with this bad boy, and man, this thing screams. It does everything that I've ever imagined it would. You know, the clean channel is very crystal clean. You know, whereas like if I needed to, I could literally leave my foot switch at home and not use the second channel because I have overdrives. But then again, you know, who doesn't love, you know...
Yeah, go for it.
The traditional... You know?
Yeah, hard to beat that, dude.
Yeah. And the fact that, I mean, where's the gain knob? It's not even halfway. That's ridiculous to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And the articulation in you know 6-string chords. I think that's what won me over because a lot of the boogies I've played, the moment you get at noon, it's just saturation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think that's why when I heard about the MT-15, I'm like, oh hell yeah, because it's.
Dude, I feel the same way, especially. God, that fucker is loud. But like, and I have the gain up on here. I should have turned it down. But even like you're talking about, you know.
Yeah, dense, thick
You hear
chords.
everything.
Yeah, every bit of it. You know, and that's one thing that I'm so pleased that, you know, our hometown makes obviously badass guitars, and now they're like killing it with the amps. It's like, man, this is so awesome. So basically, yeah, I run all this directly into, like I said, into a boost, and then this is where all the nonsense happens.
All right, well, I'm going to grab the camera so I can show the nonsense, and I'll kind of let you talk through for a second, all right? Because it really is one of the larger boards.
What's up, Chris Lee?
Yeah, if you see anybody, just say hi. Look at this thing. All right, so kind of...
So basically, we come out of the amp. We're going directly into the booster. The booster then goes into the input of this G2. This thing, just so you guys know, is pretty much the brain that controls everything on here. I can just hit one switch and it goes to anything that I want it to. Everything is programmable via these buttons. If I want, let's say, the SL drive to not be the SL drive, I just quickly turn it off, and I add this to it, and now it's an octave going into an overdrive.
Right.
Long story short, the order of the events is we're going into this into the G2, and then the pitch shifter into the dream sequence, and then the dream sequence into the phase shifter into the Lex, which is a rotary, and then the rotary goes into the octave into the Chesapeake overdrive, and then the Chesapeake overdrive into the SL, and then SL into the compressor. And then these two are 1, 2, and 3 are going directly into my effects loop. I run this into my effects loops, that way if I wanted to loop something in clean and then switch to the dirty channel on the amplifier, I can still have the loop in clean.
Yeah. Dude, you got a lot going on, man.
I spent a lot of time on it.
I see that.
It's taken me quite some time. I can't wait till eventually it'll be completely done. Eventually, this will control the amplifier, because this can switch. You can switch the actual amp. It can do MIDI routing, whatever you'd like.
Gotcha.
And not to mention it's true bypass. Well, not true bypass. It's buffered, so you're not really losing any tone. And not to mention you're getting direct signal to each pedal, which is unbelievable, which is my favorite feature about it.
That's very cool, dude.
And then a lot of the times, you know, I have like my gain stacked in order. You know, I have.
Yeah, let me hear your different. So you got this on clean. Let me hear your different gain options that you have.
What's that guitar statement? You spend 90% of your time tuning, 10% playing or whatever.
That's better than not tuning.
Yeah.
I'll join you in that endeavor.
So that's clean with a little bit of reverb from the Big Sky.
Yeah.
And then this is the flagship overdrive. This is a small little company out in Westminster, Chesapeake Effects, and they gave me this. They gave me this pedal from doing a demo for them, and I was so shocked and honored because this might be one of my favorite pedals I've ever owned as an overdrive, and I use this all the time. You know, if you like, it gets that Nashville.
Take one. Yeah, that sounds great, dude.
Love that pedal. And then we go straight into the SL drive, which is pretty much just a Marshall in a box. You know? It's that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I didn't need the Archon, so, and then what do we do after that? Nothing there. And then the.
Nothing there.
Yeah. And then this is the amp. So I mean, and I have the option of.
So you turn on the amp whenever you do the, you know.
Yes. It's like a metal country riff.
Yeah, dude, you know how many riffs translate like Dimebag riffs and Kerry King riffs,
right?
That I put in the country stuff.
And I catch myself doing it all the time. It was funny, we were playing that too fast for me, but
oh, dude, especially the riff that comes after it. Like,
oh, the whole entire time.
what?
Oh, it's crazy, man. Oh, I think that was like the first time I ever heard Eruption as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this sound? This is glorious. Or Rude Mood by Stevie.
Absolutely.
You know? And then the other really cool thing about those overdrives is that I can stack them on top of the amp if I needed to, if I needed anything extra. Yeah. Which is really nice. And then basically for like when I'm taking a lead, I just have these two pedals put on one switch, and it's just boosted that much louder, which is awesome. Yeah. But yeah, this thing has been quite the inspiration. You know, it's nice being able.
You got a lot going on, dude.
I love being able to quickly put something together because it looks like a lot. It really does, and I can understand that. But you know, if somebody wants a sound quickly, or if I'm in the studio, I can make something happen. Yeah. It's cut and dry.
Now let me ask you this: why do you like that wah, that Maverick?
Well, originally it was for the size. I would be completely honest, and because I had the Mark Tremonti, the big power wah. Thing's massive. It's like a brick. Yeah. And with everything I was on, I'm like, well, this isn't gonna fit. I need a smaller wah pedal, and I refuse to get a Crybaby. I hate click wahs.
You hate click wahs?
Yes, I don't like having to step on it and turn it on or off.
That feels so different.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm like the lone oddball.
I've played other people's rigs, and you know, when they don't have the click, and I feel like I'm always turning it on and off by accident. Yeah. Actually, the main reason I like this old school Vox is that I have to like almost put on my toe to click it. I can't accidentally turn it off.
Well, and that's a good thing, because I think the thing about that I never liked the Crybabies was, or just the click wahs itself, was just my ear was too immature to determine if it was on or off. Yeah. I couldn't, and then I'd be like, man, why do I sound thin? Or why do I sound like I'm, you know? And
so in other words, like if you left it on.
Yeah, exactly. It would just sound paper thin and just super shrill.
But you know, like, mine's not plugged in right now, so I can't do it. But like a lot of those old Black Sabbath songs, I only would leave the wah on just to get that sound. Yeah. And like, I just love that sound.
I think it would be even cooler, like if somebody were to mess with that and then like started like building like their chain around that. Yeah. To like really almost like, and then you have like a true filter sweep throughout the whole entire process. Yeah. This thing, after I got it fixed, I started messing around with it. Stephen Prentice, a buddy of mine from church, had got this thing fixed for me, and when I was playing it, I'm like, man, this thing is really awesome. And going back to a clean channel, it does everything that I thought it would, and the threshold is like. You know, you get that very like it's very almost like auto wah. Ooh, wrong note.
No, that's a good sounding wah, man.
Yeah, it's like that threshold's perfect.
See if I can get mine to work now. Yeah, so you gotta like. Yeah. But I love being able to leave it on, and there's something about the old Vox wah, and I think, you know, obviously I got it because this was like the Stevie Ray Vaughan Hendrix thing.
Of course.
It's just that it goes from so brown. Yeah. To like it hurts you nasal. Yes. You know, and I like that. I like my gear like having discomfort points.
I can get that.
You know what I mean? I like it. I like having harsh options and kind of like unusable brown options too.
Yeah, I can definitely understand. You know, that. And there's definitely some of that in here. You know,
there has to be. You have everything.
This one is pretty intense.
Yeah, show me some fun stuff.
This one is. It'll just do this forever, how long you want. That's what I think is so cool about that pedal. And now you can loop everything based off of that. You can basically have a drum machine with it.
Go for it. Go for it.
Well, that's that. When you got to do that, you're like, it's like a mathematical equation. You know,
Yeah.
you have to. I honestly, if I've ever looped with that thing, I need a click in my ear
Yeah,
to like really dial it in, because it's so rhythmical based.
Yeah, yeah. I can hear it, man.
Yeah, this thing is unbelievable. I'm still getting used to it. But
That's
man,
the hologram dream sequence.
yeah, it's I've always been a fan of, like, whether it's a plain Jane pedal or not, it needs to do something that I can find musical in it.
Yeah.
You know? And with this, I could actually go into Pro Tools, Logic, whatever, and I can create my own step filter and then download it to this.
Gotcha.
Which is really interesting. The one thing that I'm really falling in love with is this new Echo system by Empress. You can actually run 2 delays simultaneously instead of having actual 2 delay pedals on your board.
Show me.
So
do you mean?
basically, we'll do the analog. So we got an analog sound right now, which is basically like a memory boy or a memory man. Kind of get like that, get that warble in there. And then let's say, let's turn the reverb off. Then let's say you kind of want like that shimmer effect, that new craze everybody's fallen in love with.
That new craze.
At least for me it is. I hear it everywhere, that's for sure. So right now I'm running the analog delay. Oh, there it is. It's like you're running through a computer. And then you can take yourself to like outer space or set yourself on a cloud if you'd like, with the big sky on top of it. I was always a fan of soundscapes as a kid too, so yeah. I think that's why my pedals just kind of went, you know. You know, and
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Now, do you do a lot of that stuff, like sounds like that, soundscape stuff with your band too?
Yeah, I do a lot of atmospheric things. You know, and from what I write for myself, it's very much so instrumental.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes words are too influential.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I enjoy the creative aspect on the listener's end when they listen to instrumental music. They can really try and, if they want, they can think of what the artist is trying to think of at that moment.
Because words already remind them of something.
Of course, it has to. You know, I mean, when I say the word butt to you, naturally us dudes, we're going to think of a butt, a butt cheek. But at the same time, someone who's more literal, they're going to be like, okay, well, yeah, that's a conjunction in a sentence.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, with music, you can do whatever you want. And I think that's the freedom that people maybe overlook sometimes with instrumental music.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know if that's because they don't like being too inward.
Yeah.
But I think that's why I just get so lost in it, because it just takes me somewhere, you know?
That's cool, dude.
If I want to go to, you know, obviously we all know, like, the harmonic minor. You know, but like that makes me want to go to Egypt.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I'm there.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like playing like the, you know, I want to be somewhere like in the Caribbean or something like that.
Love that groove.
And that's what's always really inspired me with music. You know, it's like I'm a world traveler the second I close my eyes.
Yeah.
and that's a cool feeling to me.
So do you have a site or something online where people can check out some of this original stuff that you're writing?
Yeah, basically it's just Instagram for now. I've been working on trying to piece together. I'm in the process of recording a bunch of my own stuff, so there will be a SoundCloud. There will be a link, obviously. Instagram, EC Pindell, and then obviously Facebook, Eric Pindell. And then my bands, Rosabella on Facebook, Instagram, Zach Bella's, I think it's Zach Bella's Music on Instagram, and then Zach Bella's in the company band on Facebook.
Got any upcoming shows too? People can come check you out?
As of right now, I'm not going to jinx ourselves. Rosabella might have one. It's you know those, it's like you get an opportunity, it's like don't say anything because you might jinx it, you know. Yeah. So we're hoping on that. But Rosabella's about ready to drop an album. We're been a long time coming, but man, we're happy with it.
Oh, dude. Well, when you do, make sure to send it to me and I'll share it, dude.
That I most definitely will.
For sure. Well, let's play one more and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
How about something fast?
I'm always down for that.
I want to hear you shred a little bit.
Let's see what we got.
You pick it. All right, I can get with that. Whoa, where are you?
I can't get over that MT-15, man. $600.
Isn't that crazy, dude? Yeah, dude. I like it. Yeah, go for it. It's going down. D. Just too silly, man.
Oh, that's
Dude.
that is how you spend the 4th of July.
Dude, thank you so much for coming.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. Thank you,
Dude,
guys.
Eric Pindell, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in. Happy 4th of July. Go out and drink a beer.
Yep.